Well, I mean, it's been quite sudden news. And we've had it a few times where we've been told it's about to open, and then suddenly, of course, it's changed plans. But anyway, I guess everybody's really excited because it does seem like this time perhaps it's really going to happen. And we can see Garuda and other airlines like Singapore Airlines, getting ready for this whole international engagement. So we can only hope that it's going to bring things forward.
And what sort of restrictions on visitors are there going to be?
As far as I know, there'll be a quarantine. I think that's not quite clear whether it's self-isolation or whether it's within a hotel. I think they're still having discussions on which is the right way forward. So we're waiting to see.
Yeah. Give us a sense, Janet, of what life in Bali has been like since COVID hit and how much support Bali has actually had from Jakarta.
I mean, like anywhere, it's been a very difficult time. And I guess, in Bali also, there's not been a lot of financial support. And I honestly don't know how people have survived over the past 2 years. People here don't have, savings like we do, totally different scenario. And I know people have been selling rice fields and selling their jewelry in order to survive. So, I mean, it's a pretty severe time. And I think we've all felt that at this point, 2 years down the track, that it's just that feeling like, how can we keep going? But as you know, the Balinese are resilient, they're joyful, they still keep smiling against all odds. But I think for us, as business owners, something had to give anyway. But, this year, of course, we have the G20 in Indonesia, in Bali. Also Mandalika, the motocross racing event in Lombok. So there's things happening that mean it has to open up, actually. So there's international audiences that are coming here, so that has to change.
How easy is it for businesses just to get back to capacity?
I think that'll take a while. I mean, I'm not even sure once the doors are open, how many people will come here, because there's still that threat or that fear, I guess, of COVID in all its different variants. And for us also as a restaurant, and we own a small hotel, we now have to kind of renovate everything. We have to fix all the broken air conditioners and, refresh everything and paint everything. So there's an investment that we have to make in order to get everything up to speed. So while we're hoping that the doors will be open and there'll be more visitors, etc., it's still going to take us a bit of time to catch up and to offer the very best that we can, because there's an expense, a financial commitment that we have to make to make everything fantastic.
And it's not necessarily clear whether that investment is going to be paid back just at the moment, because there are these Omicron surges really globally happening at the moment.
Yes, so it's all as doubtful as ever. At least if they kind of make it easier for international guests to come here, you can still come to Bali if you invest in a particular type of visa. So that's for the person who's like committed to come here for perhaps 6 months. But for your average traveller, it's a bit more of a pricey investment.
And you're talking about those events that are going to happen in Bali, therefore, this opening needs to proceed. Are you getting government support to make sure that those come off?
Well, the Mandalika event is in Lombok, actually. So they need to open up Indonesia in order for the international guests to come into this country. So I think that's been one of the big motivators to get this whole thing moving. G20 will be all over Indonesia, actually, and it'll only be in Bali later in the year, which hopefully actually will coincide with the Ubud Writers and Readers Festival in October. But yeah, again, they need to be opening up for international visitors because heads of state are planned to come here this year. So they need to have something planned that looks attractive to these visitors, in terms of quarantine and visas, etc. So I think that's what they're all discussing right now. I mean, they have to open up and, look at models of Thailand, etc., around us. I mean, take it from them and see what they're doing, and that seems to be the best solution.
Yeah, you're right. I suppose it's hard for you to imagine, that the throngs of Australians returning in similar numbers as they were in the past. That's probably going to take some time.
I think personally, for me as a business, it's better it takes time because, again, as I said, we need to. We've all had everything closed. There's cobwebs growing, so we need to actually bring back the staff. I mean, everybody's kind of in that sort of slow motion mode because the whole world has been suspended. So we kind of need time also to readjust and, get our energy back.
I can fully understand, appreciate that. Yeah. Janet, really lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Terima kasih.